Welcome back, everyone. Go ahead and take your seats. Let's dive into the material here. This is our first lecture. I hope everybody did their reading and their homework because that's a really good way to start your semester. But our lecture today is on the basics of magical physiology. So, at the most basic levels, magic is in direct relation to the weave. The weave is a part of our world as much as gravity, sound, light, and every other natural occurrence is in the world. It's been a question on whether it's always been there since the beginning of time, or it was simply discovered at a later time, or if it was created more recently by some benevolent or malevolent, depending on how you see it, being. Goswin Weber created the term weave. He was a weaver prior to developing a connection to magic and eventually founding the university in which you find yourselves today. He saw a connection between his vocation and how this magic worked. I like to annoy my friends and family with a little improvisation game. I'll pick two random things and tell someone to name three ways that they're the same. Bonus points for more humorous answers. For example, quick, name three ways spouses and dogs are the same. Well, you take care of them better than you take care of yourself. You have to feed them or they get upset, and you love them with all of your being, right? I mean, you know, it works that way. But those connections don't really mean anything in the real world. They're only in your mind. They're cognitive abstractions that don't exist in any meaningful way because the weave does not exist in our world per se. Uh, the weave is cognitive space. It is a psychic energy field populated by the practically infinite web of connections between all the objects, creatures, and concepts recognized by thinking creatures. It's made by conscious thought and constantly changed in attitude by the minds that live in it. Weber noticed that just like the fabrics of his creations, magic tended to be woven into the very fabric of reality. It's not something that you can reach out and touch, and it's certainly not something that you can sense in any way, but nonetheless, it is there. Presumably, in this class, we're going to go with the idea that the weave has existed as long as consciousness has. But in recent history, some eccentric and exceptional individuals have found a way to peer into and even in a way to touch the fibers of this psychic realm. So you may perceive these threads of connection when an idea in your mind connects to something in real space, something that matches that idea in some way. You might see these as threads leading out from them to the objects in question. Now, this sixth sense is not by itself an expansion of what you perceive, merely how you perceive it. The weave is far too dense to comprehend even a fraction of the total unfiltered information of it all at one time. For this reason, what you see is almost never anything but what you were specifically looking for. And anything outside of what you're aware of with your physical senses will require spells to interact with. One thing you can't necessarily see outside of the weave is the glow or the energy of objects, whether it's something very hot or loud or moving quickly or things that glow, quote unquote, brightly, pack a punch in one way or another.
Hmm.
It was when you first started to stitch objects together, when you saw this glow flow between them like a current of water, that impossible things start to happen. Magic happens. And since you first became aware of these things as children, and your teachers and parents taught you the basics of this new ability, you've surely developed a feel for how bright or energetic an option is and how much it could accomplish at a glance. This flow through the fibers of connection does not occur in physical space. The energy is essentially teleported. But you may ask yourself, how is it that we access this weave then? Well, as sentient creatures, it makes sense that we can consciously think about connecting with this power. But what about those lesser beings who don't think rationally? How do constructs, undead, or some lesser earth elementals access this weave? I like to compare using magic with learning to walk, learning to speak, or any other basic skill a child learns. At first, it's difficult. The brain had to learn and make connections to be able to more easily perform the learned task. Magic works in similar ways. The way one can imagine a mountain and the image pops into your head is the same way that one accesses the weave. The strength of a person's mental imagery, their ability to picture something in their mind's eye, is linked to the excitability of different brain regions. An excitable prefrontal cortex makes a person more likely to visualize strong images, while the opposite is true in the visual cortex. So, brain excitability is the likelihood that neurons will fire, and it varies from person to person. For example, past studies have shown that people who experience migraines with an aura have a very high visual cortex excitability. Surprisingly, though, participants with less excitable visual cortex saw stronger mental images. So, neurons that fire more frequently in the visual cortex could be adding noise to the image signal, interfering with a person's ability to form a clear connection of the weave in their mind. Think of the brain's visual cortex as a chalkboard. Drawing a picture on a dusty or more excitable chalkboard would make it harder to see. But if you draw on a cleaner or less excitable chalkboard, the picture will be clearer. For some people, the image is so clear, it's almost as they're literally seeing. For others, it's very weak and dim. Some people can't see anything at all at first. The way accessing the weave is different from these childhood skills is that more studies have shown that if an individual receives no education whatsoever in how to master and control their connection to the weave, those portions of the brain will continue to develop anyway. They just won't be as honed or as focused as someone who has taken the time to focus and master them. The difference between us and lesser beings are that their connections are significantly more connected through emotion and instinct. They don't think about what spell do I want to cast or what goals do I have with using magic classes. They just think about whatever it takes to survive, to eat, to reproduce. Psychic energy is the energy of thought. It's what you use to interact with the weave. This is more than the calories burned by a creature's brain. You could say it's the energy of will, of logic, of creation. Wise and intelligent creatures have a significant glow of psychic energy that can be used for weaving, but the stronger a creature is mentally, the more difficult it will be for to pass their defenses to access it. For the most part, you'll be using your own psychic energy, and quite often, as it is involved as in every time you use magic, cantrips as well as lesser spells are powered pretty much entirely this way. More powerful weavings require other sources of energy, but draw on your psychic energy in another way. As you all know, your spell slots. As you learn more about the weave and magic in general, the stronger you will grow mentally. And this is a good thing. It's good because when you make a connection to the weave, you do when you make a connection in the weave, you do so in your mind, as I've explained, and as such, the energy that flows through this connection passes through you. The power of your weavings are not limited by how much energy is available, but by how much you can control. To illustrate this, imagine standing in the middle of a river. In the dry seasons, when the water is but a trickle, standing in the way of that water is not difficult at all. However, when the rain comes and the waterfall becomes a force to be reckoned with, the ability to stand in the water becomes more and more difficult. It will require more and more strength to even attempt to stand there, even though none of your own energy is involved in the river water moving at all. However, there's nothing stopping you from biting off more than you can or should chew. It is possible to handle sources of energy beyond your highest spell slot, but this will do you some harm. Energy sources have levels of displacement. You cannot use only part of an object's energy displacement. You must use it all. So bear in mind, for every level of energy higher than your highest spell slot, one would tends to take some psychic damage and become quite exhausted. For example, for those of you who want to design a piece of artwork, but it requires a massive slab of marble, you can try to use your spell to mold earth. It may require a higher spell slot than you can handle. You cast a cantrip at a level 6 spell slot. But if your highest spell slot is level 2, your spell may succeed, but you'll take 4 exhaustion points and a pretty significant amount of psychic damage. Wonderful slab of marvel, but you really won't be alive to look at it. These spells slots of which I speak is a scientific way of quantifying the amount of energy an individual can safely hold. So each of you just starting out most likely know a handful of cantrips and have anywhere from 0 to 3 spell slots available to you. The more spell slots you have means the more spells that you can safely cast before being worn out. Your goal by the time you graduate should be to have a strong handle on your spells and should double, if not triple, the amount you know and can safely use. Spell slots work similarly to atomic energy levels. To gain a second level spell slot, you need to have a specific amount of first level spell slots first. This differs slightly depending on how you know your magic. For instance, if you gain power from a greater being, as with sorcerers, you'll likely need less spell slots before leveling up simply because your greater power is assisting you with your energies. But if you're learning of your own accord, it may take more power than others. This doesn't immediately make you lesser when it comes to magic. Even if you have no natural magic ability, as I mentioned, before you can learn to access those parts of your brain, you will get there. It just takes time. Along with spell slots, you have levels, which is another scientific magical term. If spell slots equal the quantity of energy an individual can safely hold, then a level is a quality of energy an individual can safely hold. You gain levels through real life experience, with using your magic in the same way a painter moves from simple line drawings to wondrous masterpieces of paint and canvas. The more real life experience, the more complex and creative your spells can be. I'm saying that if you want to cast fireballs all day, every day, you need to practice, practice, and then practice 1,000 times more. But your experience cannot just be in one simple idea. You can't practice one thing and expect to get better in other aspects of your studies. You need to expand your horizons and try new things that you wouldn't immediately think would be connected to your goals. Try classes in Prismari and Lorehold. Try mathematics and see how it relates to your artistic creations. Don't focus on just one thing and be upset when others far surpass your abilities in other areas. Well, I apologize. I got a touch off track. Okay, where were we? Oh, that's right. That's right. The planet is hurtling through space. Therefore, every object on it is moving and full of thermal energy with all of its atoms bouncing around. And to put it simply, everything has energy. Full stop. So what's useful to know isn't how much energy something has, but how much it has relative to everything else in the system and relative to its natural level. This is known as displacement. Objects and creatures have a natural level of energy in their surroundings. To push their energy below this line requires as much energy as to raise it above the line. In other words, you can't cool something below ambient temperature and get energy out of it. Even though the object is technically losing energy, you will have to invest at least that much to displace it from its resting state. This is true for other types of energy as well, depending on conditions. For instance, it will require invested energy to make an area of darkness outside on a sunny day. The life force of thinking creatures sits naturally at their max HP. Therefore, as a source of power, it's only possible for a caster to draw from their own body. To put it all together, accessing the weave is an intrinsic aspect of the neurological system of your body. The weave is a natural existence in the world, just like gravity or light. Everything on Earth that has a brain can access the weave, and some things without a brain can also access the weave in different ways. And the weave can interact with literally anything that you can see, touch, feel, smell, taste, or sense in any other way. I should probably further clarify your sense of the weave, though. First, you cannot physically see it. That would be like opening your eyes when you're buried in sand. It's far too dense. What you see in the weave is connections made in your own mind with what you're aware of in your surroundings. If you see a tree, you recognize it as a tree. The connection between the real thing and the idea in your mind is real and tangible in the weave, and that's what you sense. It's like a rope has been tied to it and to your hand, and with that rope, you can feel how sturdy the tree is. Over the connecting mental threads, you get a sense of the energy of that object. This is that glow that you sense. It is dependent on your ability to pull from the object, not just related. Now, what actually happens when you do cast a spell? The electrical impulses in your neurological system build up in certain portions of your brain, particularly the frontal lobe and part of the cerebellum. The potentials build up, pulling from your body's natural energy until it reaches a critical amount known as the action potential. Once the action potential is reached, the energy is released into the spell that you are actively focusing on. If it's thaumaturgy, the energy is released as sound or light. If it's control water, the energy is released as a force that moves that water. We don't know every aspect of how the mind connects to the weave, and it's a topic of ongoing discussion and research. We've learned plenty about how the body reacts to magic and how the cells of the body work with each other. This class at the beginning is going to cross over significantly with biology as I explain how the body works with magic. The first unit will almost exclusively cover these topics. The second, third, and fourth units will be over magical physiology of other beings outside of humanoid and how to deal with those beings if you do come across them. In the fourth unit, we'll come back around to humanoids and go into some detail about a few other things that we won't have time to cover in the first unit. And as you continue your studies, the information I cover in this class will become more and more natural to you, and your understanding is going to deepen. The physiology of magic affects every aspect of your studies. Without it, there really wouldn't be any magic at all. You'll notice the information in this class will keep coming up in classes in every school at the university, which I hope will help you learn and become better individuals. We will continue next class with our first lecture on molecular organization of magical concepts. Read chapters 1 through 5 over the course of this unit in preparation for the first unit exam. This information will keep coming up time and time again. Homework for tonight is simple. I want you to connect with someone else in class. Find a buddy or 2 or 3 that you can work with throughout the semester. There'll be a project or 2 that you can work on together, and it's good to connect so that you have a study partner already. I highly recommend getting study groups together to help each other out. Everyone studies and learns differently. Someone else in the class may be able to explain this information in a way that's different from how I teach or how you understand. It will be of great benefit to you. All right, so that's all we have for today. Please enjoy the rest of your day. We will see you at orientation coming up soon, and we will see you on, let's see, today's Monday. We'll see you on Wednesday. Let that know. All right, so over on roll 20, we're going to go through kind of what you're looking at in front of you right now. And this is just a really basic map of kind of what the school looks like. It's more of an artistic rendering than it is actually anything, you know, um, of any meaning. But we're going to start right in the very center at the Biblioplex. And then let me pull the Biblioplex is in the central campus. So we're going to drop our little thing right over here onto that map so everybody can see it.
Mhm.
So the Biblioplex is, of course, directly in the middle. Other places of note that you would be aware of having been on campus for a couple of days and or done your research and looked at all the stuff they send you in the mail. You have Captain Dapplewing's Manor up here in the top. You have Fire Jolt Cafe, which is this world's version of a Starbucks. Archway Commons, just big commons grounds. Strixhaven Stadium, Bow's End Tavern, and way over here, the Arrow Jaunt Field. So, and then you can see kind of rings around the edges of different places that you can head off to. So basically, Biblioplex is in the very center of the central campus, and the central campus is in the center of all of the other 5 colleges. And they're not necessarily close. I don't know if this is a good explanation, but it's kind of sort of like Disney World, where like you can't just walk from like Epcot to Disney Springs. That's like a 20-minute drive. So it's kind of sort of the same idea. Um, in size wise, it's not just you can just hop right on over. There are trams and things that take you throughout campus, though. However, we are going to begin in Biblioplex. This is your first day here. This is a very large map, so you are going to need to go to the very bottom of it and zoom all the way in. And you will be right down at the very entrance steps, right down here. And you should have access to each of your characters. So
I do have access to my character, but it is all black for me. I think dynamic lighting might be a.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, dynamic lighting.
Such a cool idea, except for when no one can see anything. Hey, there it is.
There we go.
All
Beautiful.
right, let's see. Where am I?
At the bottom center of this map.
Is that?
Oh,
Okay, I remember there's a way to snap everybody to me. I just got to remember how to do it. There it is.
there it is.
That's where everybody is.
Like,
I cannot touch my character.
Actually, yeah, maybe I don't have access to my character.
that's I can't move me.
Bros Ambrosifs represents. Oh, maybe it's because I forgot to let them. Throw me your names. Del Carter. Bam. Controlled by.
Hey, look at that control.
This one is Archie Finch.
Yo.
Save. This one is Xavier, which is all the way down at the bottom. York, Balladmore, done. And then finally we have Billy Sumner, who's definitely a rock star in another world.
That is a good rock star name.
Billy Sumner.
And I can add your nameplates. We can all know who is who, at least for the beginning.
I'm Billy.
I'm Billy.
So, you kind of have an idea of where you are in the world. The first order of business for you guys is to complete your orientation, which is required of first-year students. Orientation takes place in the Biblioplex, which is the university's grand library. Majestic marble archways, tomes seemingly stacked for miles, and the infectious energy of hundreds of young adults fill the Biblioplex, the grand library at the heart of Weberhaven University. The sights, sounds, and sparks of magic in the air are wondrous. Your acceptance letters stated that you must report to the Biblioplex's Hall of Oracles to receive instructions on new student orientation. The hall sits at the center of the Biblioplex's first floor, and you can already see students gathering there. So as you step through, you can see just this massive room before you. Lots of different people that are all kind of around everywhere. Pull up my little thingy here. So as you enter in, to the left is a lounge. You just have some couches and tables that are just furnishing that area. Students, employees, staff members, they use it kind of just to relax between shifts in the student store, which is this area right here. This is the student store. On the other side, to the right, is some seating for the student cafe. And people are studying, eating, chatting, or honestly, even sleeping in this area. And the room right above it is the Biblioplex cafe. So one wall of that area is covered with a mural made from a living tree's roots, which move occasionally and make the entire place feel very alive. The ceiling is covered in painted leaves, which change colors depending on the season, thanks to a permanent illusion effect. The magic also prompts painted squirrels to run up and down the mural's roots and painted birds to chirp among the leaves. You can see quite a few people in here. It's usually pretty crowded if it gets to be too many people, but about 10 people can comfortably fit in there. Ordinarily, more than just one person is running this, but during orientation, the cafe's manager is working alone. She's charmingly perky, has a mind like a steel trap when it comes to recognizing students. However, as you watch, her organization skills are somewhat lackadaisical. The cafe always serves coffee and tea, which costs 1 copper per cup, and the sandwich of the day varies. So on the opposite side is the student store, which is stocked with books, equipment, and gear, useful as academic supplies. The list of supplies in that PDF is included in what is for sale in this store. The store's manager is a friendly staff member known for his ability to fashionably mix and match items of university apparel. You can buy hats, scarves, tunics, robes, gloves, and other apparel embroidered with the Weber Haven star. I said Strixhaven because that's what it's based off of, and I'm going to do that a ton, just so you know. Or with the sigil of any of the Weber Haven colleges. They can range in price. Once you choose a college, you do receive a set of college robes, a knit hat, a scarf, a tunic, and gloves free of charge.
Nice.
In addition to non-magical gear and clothing, like I said, the magic items from the magic items section of that PDF is available. Right in the very center of the room, right here, is the information desk. There are 3 reference librarians that work at these circular desks. There's more than one. There's one. Billy is standing next to one as well. If you have any questions or concerns, they are the people you go to. They will give you instructions for where to find any public location or collection in the Biblioplex.
Would we know if the school is still run by Webbers or not?
You would know that. It's not. I mean, the Webbers are still like on the board, but there's a board of directors now, and there's a dean and things like that, but it's not a Weber. 500 years is a long time, bro. So even really the Webers that are today are not necessarily as meaningful as the original Goswin. Further on as you go forward, you kind of come into the study area, which kind of stretches both ways. It's just big open tables and chairs where people can study at any given time. Where would you like to go from here, everybody?
I would go to the information desk.
Okay.
And after a few minutes of just staring, Archibald will also walk in and form a line behind Dell.
Archibald, just as an aside, the building does have magical stairs that you recognize once you walk up to them. It doesn't seem to do it for anybody else, but as you step forward with your cane, the steps lower onto a platform, and as you step onto them, they raise up and essentially bring you up to the top level for you to walk across.
Handicap services.
He's
Nice.
unsure about how he feels.
That's fine. Okay, so one of the people at the information desk turns around to you and with a very cheerful smile. Hello, how can I help you today?
Hello, I'm Delman Carter. This is my first day.
Of course.
Yeah, there's a lot of us. This is a very big building.
Yes, it is. It's one of the bigger buildings on campus. Outside of the stadium is a little bit bigger.
Right. I believe I'm supposed to go here first, correct?
Oh, you must be here for orientation. Yes, you are in the right
Yes.
place, my dear.
Yes.
You want to go to the Hall of Oracles. That's where we're going to start.
Hall of Oracles.
Yes. So if you see directly behind me, and she points behind her, like down the hall, past the second information desk, you see another kind of smaller room. It's not really a room, it's just pillars that kind of separate off a certain portion of the room. There is a snarl. You've never seen one in person, you've heard of them. Snarls are bursts of energy, almost like a star, where the weave and the actual world have come a little too close into contact and have created this kind of like burst of energy, this lasting energy that kind of exists in between the two spaces. That right there is the Hall of Oracles. Every 5 minutes or so, they go through the information and send you on your way. So you got plenty of time, honey. You can go in there right away.
Oh,
If you want to look around and explore, that's fine too.
yes. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. Next, how can I help you?
Having his question just been answered right in front of him, Archibald will just follow Dell.
All right.
Straight up walks away.
Okay. And she like smiles and watches you just for a second, just in case you turn around and say something. And then she goes
Nope.
back to work. Billy, where are you
Our-
going?
yeah. Good.
Billy walked to the snarl. You said there was a whole bunch of kids already gathering.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he deduced that's where he should go. So that's where he went.
Okay.
Walk to the snarl.
Dell, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was asking Archie, are you like following like in a direct path, like following Dell, or are you just kind of going the same direction?
Probably direct path, yeah, since she just told you where to go, and
Mhm.
that's where he needs to go too. So,
Dell like notice that somebody's like kind of following him behind, and then he's just gonna move off to the side to a table and then start going through papers on the table. Just
someone else's papers.
yep. So
To be fair,
Archibald will
to be
keep walking
fair,
to
a
the
lot of
snarl.
these tables are just stacked, piled with all different kinds of.
oh yeah, he'll just do that for a little bit before he goes off to the snarl. Just kind of, he was just testing to see if he was actually following him.
No,
or
no,
not.
no.
Okay. And then, yeah, then he'll go over to the
Archie, do
snarl.
you stop and just watch him?
No. You heard enough to know where to go.
York would have
just.
just York would have just gotten near the information desk and listened because he knows he was going to ask exactly what he needed to know, and then go towards the snarl.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna move you.
When Dell and Archie approach, Billy's gonna like notice them and be like, magic physiology. Morning class.
Ah, hello. Hello.
He like holds out his hand. Name's Billy.
Delmont. Delmont Gata.
Nice to meet you, Dal.
Archibald will move his cane to his left hand and say, Archibald.
Billy shakes it and be like, a little young for a cane.
Little
About
for
getting one
college.
myself, though.
Ouch.
You're not wrong. I like
I'm
You just hear
right.
York go, ooh.
Sorry, I'm kidding. No, just an accident a long time ago.
no, you're not wrong, man. I'm like all y'all's father age, grandfather's age. It's fine. It's fine.
Well,
We're all here to learn.
yeah, as they say, it's never too late to learn.
That's right.
Unless
That's
you're
right.
dead. Well,
Not there yet, but I'm closer than y'all, I think.
I hope. Not
probably.
against you, just more for my own safety.
Yeah, sure. Billy loves Archie.
Oh,
good.
Already.
Just from the Billy loves him.
You're from a different generation, Billy. Are you the kind of generation that squats down to talk to a dwarf?
Give me 2 seconds. What would Billy do?
Picturing it.
No,
in the
because
scenario.
I've already established Billy has done work with dwarves in the whole smithing glass sheet thing. So he would actually know how not to. I think he definitely did initially, and someone had to be like his son was like, Dad, don't do that anymore.
That is insanely racist.
That's his eldest son had to have that conversation, be like, Dad, just let me lead. You stay back there and you'll learn.
He's had that lesson already. The beauty of experience.
All right. So let me see other things that you guys have seen as you kind of walked by. You saw the study tables on each side, here and here, but just past those. And what I say is, it's not uncommon that someone like Dell would just walk up to a random table and look through the papers, because on each side of the Hall of Oracles, these big long rows, these are the main stacks. These are floor to ceiling bookshelves, and the ceiling is 50 feet tall. They fill the center and the east end of the library's first floor, with the denser east stacks under a magic effect that shifts when a student approaches, creating space to stand single file between them. They are packed full of books. They're mostly introductory texts, and first-year students are often directed here by their instructors. In each of these two areas, you will see 2 cogwork archivists that busily shelve returned or misfiled books. It's a lot. It's a lot of books. But then, of course, you didn't really get to explore too further out other than the Hall of Oracles so far. And you did get there in a pretty good time, because the next round of orientation is beginning. As you step into the Hall of Oracles, an almost sacrosanct sense of calm descends on you. Brilliant scholars, says a rich, soothing voice radiating from the hall's central snarl of glowing energy. Your attention, please, as you are now Weberhaven University students. This storied Biblioplex will be your second home for research, studies, and even leisure. There's just one task to accomplish before you officially embark on your academic journey. A small piece of parchment materializes in front of each of you. A scavenger hunt. The rules are simple. Each clue on this list will lead you to a different location in the Biblioplex. Simply travel to the area each clue references and perform the action the clue suggests. Time is of the essence. You have only until the end of the day to finish your hunt. Solve as many clues as you can, because at each location, you may win a prize. Now then, and it turns kind of a golden color. Off you go. I'm going to send you what your papers say. They are now available to you.
Do all of them say the same thing?
All of them say the same thing.
I'm going to
Billy
go
takes
to
a
the
step
snarl.
forward.
Yeah, same with.
All of us just take a step, still looking at the page.
You take
Actually-
a step forward. You're going toward the snarl.
Toward the snarl. Yes.
Let me describe the room a little bit more clearly, just so you know exactly what you're standing in. The Hall of Oracles is a few pillars all around the side. There's not really a lot of like sitting room. It's pretty cramped when you have about 20 students in here. And this is more of kind of like a small meditation area. The snarl is, I'd say, about the size of a normal classroom globe. So about 75% larger than a basketball. And it has a pillar of light that seems to strike through it at its north and south axis, heading directly up straight through the ceiling and heading down into the ground. And it lets out about a 5-foot glow in every direction underneath it. So in this map where that snarl is, that's about as far as the glow really extends in a bright glow. So you take a step forward, you're definitely in like the glow of it. But there you go. Billy has got the idea. He reaches out and pokes it. And as you touch it, you momentarily lose track of time and your body, kind of just overwhelmed by this magical power. You automatically disengage after a few moments and discover you are holding a potion of healing.
Well, he just like the old days, and then pockets it.
Archibald will take a step forward and then use his cane to poke it.
Essentially the same thing happens, except since it's the cane, the potion just tumbles out from the bottom of the light right across the ground and just rolls and stops at your foot.
Nice.
Seeing that what Billy was the first one to go in, I would have tried to mimic exactly what Billy did.
Okay. Are you wearing your armor?
No.
Oh, okay. You reach forward and something happens. You come back with a healing potion.
Then Xavier Yorick would tap on Billy's shoulder and be like, "Hey, well, you seem good at riddles. Yeah, you mind helping me out?" I'm like, I don't know how tall you are, but I'm 7 foot, so I'm probably towering over you.
Yeah, you're tapping down. Billy's only about 6 foot. Billy be like, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's a competitive scavenger hunt. Looks like we all get rewarded if we figure it out. So I think we get a couple of us together and solve some riddles.
Perfect. Well, if you need something moved or broken, I got you.
You seem like it.
Delman, he's going to he's still kind of looking at the paper. He's gonna see some people doing that. He's gonna go over there, tap, still looking at the paper, pick up the health potion, and then he's actually going to walk out of the area.
Okay.
He's going towards this grassy spot over here.
Okay.
Billy will definitely be like, "Hey, Archibald, over here.
All right.
We're gonna do this together."
Sounds good.
All right. So the three of you are sticking together and Dell's kind of off on his own. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
Let's go with Dell. Dell, what clue are you working on?
4.
4. And
These
clue
leafy
number
beds
4
aren't
says, these leafy beds aren't always what they seem. Give them a pat and see what you glean. Wow, they rhyme. I don't know
They
how I
do.
did something like that. Okay, so that area, you are in the correct spot for that. So what do you do? What are you gonna do?
He's going to be patting the bushes, patting the trees, patting the ground,
Sure.
giving things
So kind of in
Like you
these
do.
areas, they're rather large. You see students that kind of sit on the grass and study among the lush foliage. Sometime last year, 3 awakened shrubs wandered in here and settled, one in each garden, and the university has welcomed them to stay. Members of Witherbloom typically tend this space, and 3 Witherbloom pledge mages can be found here most days, which you do see one here with you. Members of the Fantastical Horticulture Club often relax in this area and hold meetings from time to time. And you do meet somebody while you're standing there. But first off, let's finish up our little clue. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
investigation. Oh, hey, it's an intelligence-based character. That's nicer.
That's a first.
I was game. I know. Yes. Sorry. That plus that. Oh wait, I have my character sheet here. I forgot. Sorry. And the investigation.
Yes. Beautiful. As looking into them, you notice that, of course, one of these shrubs is not like the others. And one is an awakened shrub with a glistening crown of leaves. What would you like to do?
Um, he is going over towards that. He's still patting everything, including the heads of the people that are over there. He's pat, and then go over to that and pat that.
All right. When you reach out and you touch the awakened shrub, its branches part to reveal a cuddly Weberhaven mascot plush, representing one of the
Aw.
mascots of Weberhaven of your choice. This soft, tiny magic toy is perfect for cuddling. If you press it to your arm, shoulder, or leg as an action, the toy stays attached there for 1 hour or until you use an action to remove it. It can be used to fight off fear. When you make a saving throw to avoid or end the frightened action on yourself, you can give yourself advantage on the roll if the toy is on your person, like attached on your person.
Mhm.
You must decide to do so before rolling the d20. If the save succeeds, you can't use the toy until a long rest. So you have a cute little guy.
Yeah, I thought that one was pretty cool when I was reading it.
All right.
I like the coffee.
While you are there, though, there is another person with a clipboard. I'm struggling,
okay.
guys. Struggling today.
Clip book, book that clips.
It's a book with clips on it. You have this person shows up and says hi to you. With a very thick, as you can see, his tongue is a little bit too large for his mouth. He approaches and says, "Hello, my name is Earth McTalkgrass.
Well,
You may consider me very
hello.
meticulous, but I would like to, if at all possible, to see if you would be interested in the Fantastical Horticulture Club."
Horticulture. What do you study?
Oh, we study the plants pretty much. I work as the Campus Magic Lab's specimen preparer, and I also work with the Fantastical Horticulture Club, and we look to develop new species of plants that might yield new ingredients for potions. Please, please, if you are going to be part of this, remember my name is Talk. I prefer to be called Talk and nothing else.
Okay, you're connected with Witherbloom, I presume.
Absolutely, we are.
Yes. Thank you, Osmatok. I'm sure I'll be seeing much more of you.
It's perfect. If you would just sign your name here and we could give you your welcome packet to your room later.
He slowly, observantly sighs Delman Carter.
Dell, you have joined the Fantastical Horticulture Club.
Yes, I have.
They meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Thank you, Esmatok. I have a scavenger.
Oh, just scavenger hunt. That's an easy thing to do. Just which one are you on?
I just did 4. I guess I'll go to number 2 next. Do you know
Okay.
where?
Yeah, that's right behind us in the student art gallery.
Art gallery. Yes.
They do the
Thank
same
you.
thing every year. Once you do it once, you could pretty much figure it out every other year. So anyway, good luck, and you'll have your welcome packet in your room later on, okay?
Thank you, Esmatok.
Yes, of course. Oh, okay, you Mr. over there. And he runs off and goes to talk to somebody else.
Heard that.
The rest of you, the 3 of you, what are you guys working on?
Billy's gonna be like, well, number 3 talks about a free treat. I'm gonna guess the cafe, and I think we just like show him the list and we get something like a coffee. Y'all want to get a
I was
coffee?
pretty fixated on treat as well, so that one sounds good to me.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Love it. All right. So you guys head off to that room.
Assuming there's no one in line, Billy is gonna go up to the proprietress and just like hand out his list and be like, "We're here with the scavenger hunt."
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, welcome, guys. You see just a lot of people are just drinking and enjoying snacks generally. You've done exactly what you were supposed to do. Just present me with the scavenger hunt. Are you all 3 working together?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
How
Is
did
that allowed?
you guys all come to school together? Are you like besties?
Well,
No.
this guy knew what he was doing, and I decided to like, hey, want to help? And then I guess he knew what was that, Archie already?
Archibald. Yeah. He told me to follow him, so
I mean, I met him like 5 minutes ago, like right before orientation.
yeah, his name is Billy.
I faux pas about his pain. He faux pas about how old I am. Good times.
Oh, well, I guess they didn't know each other after this. My bad.
Yeah,
Even
so
before
we're
this.
basically besties, is what he's saying.
Oh, that is so wonderful. Hey, okay, listen, before I give you your little thing, do you mind? And she's like making like 2 drinks at the same time and also taking somebody's order like while she's talking to you. Do you guys just mind? Can you just help me get some stuff down from a shelf back here?
No, I would love to help, but I am short and have a cane.
That's perfect. I
I
have just
think
the job for
this
you
is
too.
where I could help with.
Oh, good.
Okay, so come around the counter. Everybody come around, come around. I'll be right with you, sir. Just give me just one moment. Yours is going to be 330. And she takes money, and as you guys come around the counter, says, okay, so all we need you to do, you, sir, are very tall. If you see right up above me, there's a bunch of cups and stuff. I just need them brought down and put them right around here, right below here. You are not quite as tall, but you're still pretty tall. Okay, our sandwich today, I don't know why Albert always puts them up so high, but our sandwich today is a toasted cockatrice gizzards on rye. Do you mind just grabbing the chalk up there and just writing it up on the board for me? And you, oh, you are just the most precious. If you could just take the sandwiches out of the box right back here and you can just put them out for everybody to see, and just sort them out really nice. I love you all forever. Anyway, okay, sir. Yes, what can I get for you? Okay. Do you guys you can do?
Billy
Yeah,
writes
I'm
it.
gonna.
All right, York, are you grabbing the cups?
I'm grabbing the cups. Yes.
Okay. Billy.
Billy's gonna write it. Although he's definitely gonna like call over and be like, have you thought about doing it on sourdough bread? The tartness really helps with the gizzards. Like it
I
complements.
hadn't. And
Thought. I'm a good eater.
are you going to be restocking the sandwiches?
Yes.
Okay. If each of you in your tasks would give me a dexterity check.
Ah.
Oh crap.
Oh, why can't it be just straight?
Hey, way to go, Archie. Okay, 15, strong 15.
All right.
All right.
Oh,
Oh,
great
God.
start.
Oh,
Great
God.
start.
My man.
New
My-
character, new you.
My...
First roll. First roll.
Oh, buddy.
Billy, I do not see your roll, but it could be because I'm blind.
8.
8? Okay.
Not dexterous, man.
York, despite all of your well-being and well-meaning, you do immediately reach up and punch the cups just straight up off the shelf, and they just explode everywhere behind you. Have you ever knocked over a stack of solo cups? You
Just
essentially do that. You
everywhere.
make an absolute disaster back there, but you do manage to get everything where they do need to go. It just takes you a couple extra minutes. Billy, she loves your idea. She decides, yes, we're going to change it over to what you were saying, to the sourdough. But they're going to have to do it tomorrow because obviously they have the rye for today. You write it on the board perfectly. Archie, you have taken these things out of the box, and she turns around and looks at each of you. And she's like, I just want to thank you all so much for all of your help. You guys have saved my day. She gives you a trinket, but she gives it to Archibald. She says, Archibald, I have never seen anybody go so above and beyond in their work. If you want to come work for me, please, I'll take the hip. I'll get you a little box to stand on and everything. It's fine. We'll do whatever it takes, sir. You have done amazing work. For the two of you, York and Billy, she gives you a free sandwich coupon that you can use at the cafe. But for Archibald, in the like character options part of our PDF, there are some trinkets there, and she lets you pick one.
Trinkets. Do you know what page that's on?
Um,
I think it was like 39, something like that, if I remember right.
I think he is right.
39.
It's close to there because I was looking at him a lot yesterday.
So we got some primers.
Yep, you
I
have
think
primers
it's
for each of the
below
school.
the primers.
You have pennants. You have the bottle of boundless coffee.
Oh, under magic items?
Yep.
So
Yeah, I was looking at boundless coffee and primers, so I was like, "Ooh, those sound cool."
what's the primer thing? Let's see. With a glue.
Depends on
Depends
which
on the school.
school you
Yeah.
go to. But okay. Dell,
Mhm.
now that you've signed up for your class, where are you headed?
I'm gonna take the advice of Urs. He said right over here-ish, I think. He said right behind us.
I didn't see where you pointed. I apologize.
Oh, sorry. To the like the bookshelves. Is that what he said? He said behind us.
He was more
but-
pointing in this direction.
Okay. I was like, I'm not sure where he was standing when he said behind us. Yes. Go over to
Okay.
that building.
You head into this room. It's a very crisp looking room. It has white walls and columns that stretch from floor to ceiling. Displayed on or within these are art pieces representative of various media. Students from the Prismari College typically attend this place, and there are 3 Prismari pledge mages that can be found here. They're either cleaning or studying the techniques used in the displayed pieces. There's a storage area in the back that holds supplies and artwork waiting to go on display. You see a girl in there,
Mhm.
or sorry, I don't know if it's a girl or a boy. It's a boy. It's a boy.
You see a thing.
It's
in there.
questionable,
Wow,
as you would
it
expect
is.
of art students. You're walking around recruiting some students. You have managed to run into yet a second recruit. But as you walk through this art gallery, you see a portrait of several older alumni wearing the Prismari College robes.
I'm gonna look around like pardon me. Pardon me.
Yes. Hello, my name is Cataris. How can I be of service to you?
I'm looking for something that inspires, that was created from alumni. It's the scavenger hunt.
Mm.
Ding.
You think I'm just gonna give away the hint? Look around. Enjoy yourself. Explore.
Follow up question. What is the oldest piece here?
Well, do you mean oldest as in the person who created it was the oldest, or the actual painting is the oldest, or the materials used in the painting are the oldest?
These are excellent questions. I will go with the person.
The person painting, of course. Interesting. Most people don't go with that idea. If you look to my left, he's facing the entrance. So if you look to my left between these 2 pillars, you'll see something that was, we're still working on exactly the date, but supposedly it was painted by Goswin Weber himself.
Weber, the name of the school.
Exactly the same one.
Thank you, Karadas. He walks off.
What do you want to apply to? You walk off as he's still like trails off talking about saying if you want to join a guild. Do you go up and look at that picture in particular?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one in particular. First, I should say.
Sure. You there are multiple pictures all along that wall. The picture in question is, are you an arty person, Del? Are you into art?
Not particularly. I mean, you know, I respect it, sure, but haven't really done anything crafty, unless you count magic as an art.
All right.
But no.
You would probably see the painting before you as a touch pretentious. It is a black background, and in the center of this black void is a child who is painting on an easel. The child has fire hair and is painting an old man's face looking down at him. The old man also has fire hair.
I guess this is what inspires the Prismari.
It is titled Self-Portrait, Goswin Weber. On each
Sorry.
side of the painting are other abjuration cantrip.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
On each side, you see portraits of the Prismari alumni. As you look at these paintings as well, underneath one of the paintings says, "At Strixhaven, we are all inspired." And below that is a teeny tiny little lever. Almost, you couldn't call it a lever, but more of a switch, like a light switch.
Just a little slip. Yeah. Don't go ahead and just.
You flick the switch, and next to it, a box pops out of the wall containing a Strixhaven, a Weberhaven pennant. I'm going to do that so frequently.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Because the other option
I
is
feel
to
for you.
rewrite it all.
Oh, dude, no. Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
It's a Weberhaven pennant.
Yes. I'll take that.
You take it, the box
Put it
disappears
on.
back in the wall.
Yes.
Right.
He doesn't know the fifth one yet, so then he's just heading out. And he's gonna just look around try to look at the other students, see which directions that they're going.
Sure. The rest of the group, where are you guys heading?
I'm following the leader.
They both look at Billy.
Billy's like, okay.
There's gonna be so many daddy jokes in this.
You shouldn't have went into the light so fast.
Specifically. Oh no, I've already thought of a very bad joke about being born on opening night. There's some material there. Specifically, my notes say he's on the wholesome side. Dad puns
But
that only occasionally get into uncle jokes.
Oh, okay.
Specific in my notes. For the record. I don't know how long that's gonna last. Billy is gonna look at it and kind of go, leafy beds. And there's some plants around.
I thought I saw a garden earlier.
Garden. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you see the garden?
It was
I saw two, I think, out there.
yeah, back towards the snarl.
All right. After you. Billy's letting Archie take the lead.
All right, a measly 25 feet per round. Running at full speed, of course, would be 25 feet per round. Archie will lead.
I mean, technically, it's called walking speed.
Yeah, I guess I'm not dashing, am I? But yeah, Archie will lead back towards where he thought he might have seen a garden.
All right. You guys head back over.
York would try to follow pace as least offensive as possible with his long legs.
Oh. I was like, how are you walking
Yeah.
offensively? But
And
no.
seeing that, this might show a bit of the fiendish side of Archibald. Archie will begin to like vary his pace a little bit just to
kind of
just to watch the tall man have to work for it. A couple
I think-
slow steps, a big step, you know.
Let me see if I pick up on that inside. I
Oh
definitely
gosh.
buddy.
After I see that I'm definitely being trolled, I would actually take the lead and head to the first garden I knew of.
Just nope.
He like fakes a little tiny step, and then just York just like doesn't even skip a step.
Hmm.
All right. Well, as you arrive at the bushes, the same man approaches you.
Hi, Winston.
It is Winston's voice, or very similar to.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. The three of you must be first year students. My name is Urs McTuck-Gross. He
Is
holds
that a
out
handshake?
the clipboard. He doesn't even go for a handshake. He just turns the clipboard around,
Just the
holds the pen
clipboard.
out. Says, "If anybody would like to join the Fantastical Horticulture Club, this is the paper in which you would sign." Look how many names are already on it. We are going to have so
How
many
many
names
names
on
are
this
on it?
thing. You're putting your name on it? All right.
What's the horticulture club about?
The Horticulture Club, we work
Yeah.
in developing new species of plants that might yield new ingredients for potions.
Potions?
Yes,
Like-
potions.
Huh. Yeah, okay.
Well, like, plants that like make alcohol. Is that like your thing?
We do use ethanol as a basis for some of ours. Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'll sign it. Not because the alcohol, because of the potion thing.
Oh my god. Yeah, here, sure. So first, here we go. Here we go. I think I have another pin here, as you've already finished signing it and are just holding the pin in your hand. Okay, here's the. Oh, okay. Never mind. You got it. You guys are
Yeah, I got it.
fantastic.
But you, big guy, you gonna sign it? I don't know. Okay.
I don't necessarily agree with peer pressure, but in the case of the Fantastical Horticulture Club, I absolutely do. Come on, please, sir, sign it.
Not interested. Sorry.
It's all right, buddy. You can't get them all. You got 3 of
Oh.
those, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking good, actually. So
Sorry,
your
how did-
welcome packets will be coming to your dorm rooms later on this evening. So keep an eye out for them. They are quite fantastical, if I do say so myself.
How many people are on the horticulture club?
5.
Oh, good.
I like
including
I like- I
those
see
who
the-
have joined us this year.
Gotcha.
when he did hand it to Archie. I was gonna try to see what names were on there. What what names were signed?
Well, there are currently 3
Besides Del
names
Carter.
on there. Delmond Carter, William Sumner, and Archibald Finch. There is another name at the top that is a little hard to make out, but it starts with a U. Something.
I think Tim's saying that he didn't sign it.
Did not.
Oh, you did not
Oh,
sign
he
it.
did not sign it.
He went to shake the hand and he just like handed it to him. And Billy just kind of like looked at it and then passed it to Archie.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's just got those 2 names on it then. Or
So
the
it's
3
the
names.
4 members.
Delmond, Archibald, and
As-
Ernest McTuck.
Good. Nice, small, tight knit group.
Are you
Quality
guys,
over quantity.
Are you guys working on the thing for the orientation?
Scavenger hunt, yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to pat something.
Listen,
Got to pat
I
some
don't know why
bushes.
they always put that every year. It drives me absolutely nuts. We've written multiple times that awakened plants are not exactly the biggest fans of being patted. So I'll tell you a secret. If you tickle them, they do a much better job.
Right. Which one do I
Billy's gonna
pat?
go tickle a bush.
Probably even with 11 insight.
Yes, you do.
I go straight for tickling.
Just use one finger, flipped upside down. Come here, motion. York, the bush is just a regular bush. If you would like to give me a perception check, See if you can find out which one is the awakened shrub.
Everyone's just watching him tickling this bush.
Okay, I think I.
You are this 7 foot tall man is bent over, scratching a leaf on a random plant, and the plant next to him goes.
Oh.
And he just slowly
Well, that
lifts
was
his
the-
finger up like, oh, and reaches down and scratches the other one, which continues to
This
giggle.
round went good.
Continues to giggle, and also produces a cuddly Weberhaven mascot for you.
How much do those weigh?
They're tiny. They weigh like a quarter of a pound, maybe. Do the others tickle the plant?
Archibald will walk over to it and not touch it. He is going to pull out a small tattered book and mouthing some words from it, cast Druidcraft.
Okay.
And allow like a plant to grow on his finger and then reach over and kind of connect with the bush.
If a tiny little heart emoji could emerge from an awakened shrub, it would just now. And it gently raises the mascot onto its leaf and sets it down on your hand.
Aw.
He doesn't cry. He doesn't cry. Said he doesn't. Stop laughing.
All right. What else next?
Billy would also tickle it.
Good.
Billy's gonna go for the finger tickle though.
The four-finger tickle.
What is?
Oh,
Is it like
yeah.
at the same time, or
I guess you might be a little
alternating, or like-
hard of hearing. He specifically said it was just the.
I know,
So-
but like when you tickle the bottom of a baby's foot, you don't go. You go. And actually, he'll make that sound too.
As you do that, it giggles, but like is it's like stop. But this joyous and energetic atmosphere of the first floor suddenly is just shattered by panic shouting, not just around you. I mean, like off a little distance. You hear a young elf scream, "That trunk!" pointing toward the stacks from the far side of the building as she runs by. "That trunk has teeth. Anybody, please stop it." Chaos erupts in the library as students stream in all directions, their books and papers flying as they shout in fear. The only faculty mages in sight are trying to deal with panicked students. Now, you can't just let some monster ruin the first day of classes. It is time to step up. So,
Did I get my
boy.
plush?
do you get your plush? Yes, you get your plush. It like tosses it at you to get you to quit it.
Stop! Tosses like a bunch of them at it.
Billy's
York
definitely
is
like-
like
In the western part of this area, so right around here, here,
Mhm.
you see a half dozen old trunks strewn about. There's sheets, blankets, large wooden frames, and half-painted wooden props are scattered kind of haphazardly around the tables where members of the live-action role-playing guild were setting up for a show. Rampaging throughout the mess is a trunk that has been transformed into a mimic, which, is kind of running rampant through that area at the moment.
Now, unfortunate
One-
question:
Yes.
is this a mimic true to the world that we've established?
oh no.
Nope. It's not. It's so weird. That is so not. Wow.
So this is something that develops after or during our time. Then
No,
that's good.
It'll
It's
be
good
us.
to know.
We'll do
it
it.
is lore appropriate, in the sense that we have established that they have penises.
We don't have to establish. Establishing is not required.
It has been established.
Well, Billy and Archie probably noticed that, like, once that panic ensues, that like Yorick actually gets pretty excited, and he rushes there, summoning his armor and sword.
Wow, eager beaver over there, huh?
All right.
Better go check on him. And Billy is going, like, she's gonna follow calmly behind.
Yeah,
And then
calmly.
you guys would see, in an instant, Yorick would have been completely in plate mail, and a giant great sword is in his hand.
He did not have that before.
Dill would also be rushing as soon as he sees the danger approaching. He would rush as well.
Oh, there's Billy. I was like, where the heck are you?
Blending in.
It really was. Let's see. I don't have my normal roll for
So,
initiative. So
question.
everybody rolls their own initiative.
Heard that?
What weapons what's campus security like with weapons? Like, obviously Yorick has magic weapon that summons to him, but what was the rest of our situation? Like, is it normal for us to be carrying like a light crossbow, or is it I'm gonna throw a book at it?
You have your stuff. You have your light crossbow.
Okay, cool.
But a crossbow at school?
You can't trust campuses nowadays.
All right.
Oh no.
Um,
Slightly conservative.
Initiative. No valid token was selected. What?
Yeah, it's
I have to select my token? But I got a 20. That's so good. Okay, I got 19. That's fine. I'll take the
definitely
19.
missing. I'm definitely missing having a dex modifier.
all right. Descending. That is going to start us with Archie Finch is going to be up first.
All right. Archibald is going to say sorry, what's the halfling? What language is that for? What are we using in place of that?
Oh, what's the halfling language?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to say it was shoot, I don't remember. I should have this pulled up in another place. I'm gonna have to work on that.
I thought you were like asking what it's called, and I was gonna be like halfling.
I got that
Yeah.
part. I got that much.
No, I'm with you now. Like after I was just like it halfling.
The H is silent. It's affling.
Offling. Hello, I'm an offling.
Just a really bad British accent.
Oh, then I'm offling, eh? You what?
I totally believe that. Actually, I can totally see that.
Well, I guess it's not important right now. So Archibald's going to whisper a few more words in halfling or in druidic. Actually, probably just be druidic. And you notice on his cane he has a what is it? A sprig of mistletoe and a shamrock leaf hanging from the top of his cane. And those begin to glow a little bit as he's casting Shillelagh on his cane.
Very nice.
Okay.
Seen Shillelagh in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a minute. Good old.
And he can go that far. Yeah, so he'll go to there. 25. And then he will use an action to don his shield. So he's got to reach into his backpack and he'll pull out a small wooden shield and put that on. And that's his turn.
Okay. That is Yorick's turn next.
Almost got my stuff. That was funny. That was like, okay.
And hit. 25 to hit.
How are you level 1 and you got a 25 to hit?
Because I rolled an 18.
Fine. Yes.
How is that
What's
plus?
that?
Oh,
Ooh, that is
proficiency.
a
Okay.
strong strength modifier, my guy. Woo.
10 slashing, 2 lightning damage.
He's strong.
Halfling is Greek.
Greek. Awesome.
That's not what I expected.
Right, because that one our halfling friend is a Greek god in my mind.
All right.
And I'm
You
gonna
hit it for how
do.
much? 10, 12 damage?
Yep. I'm gonna try to be in front of it where it won't try to go past me, is what I'm gonna attempt to do.
All right. Dell?
I am going to 1, 2, 3. He's gonna run up this direction over here. And the range on that. Oh yeah, I don't even have to be close. He's just gonna run that direction and then he's gonna reach over towards the nearby garden area. And then weeds and vines are gonna sprout from the garden area, reaching over to the mimic. He's casting it Entangle. I need it to make a strength saving throw. DC 14.
Saving throw. DC
Nice.
14.
got a nat 20.
That sounds like it's high enough.
It reaches over as you sprout the weeds. It just snaps at him and bites him in half like a dog.
that so yeah, he is not restrained, but that area around it is difficult terrain.
Okay.
Which is, let me see, is it 20 feet? Let me double check. 20-foot square, starting from the point within range.
Okay.
Okay.
Draw that really
So
quick.
yeah, just pretty much what he's on, just around him is difficult terrain. Is there are still vines and weeds all around there, but he is not restrained by them.
So that area right there has all of the things.
So yeah,
Alright.
he's just standing behind over there, just controlling that. But that's his turn.
All right, that is the mimic's turn. It is going to try and take a bite out of you, Yorick. Yeah, it'll take a bite. That's fine. Does a 16 hit?
Normally. I will cast my electric barrier, which is a reskin of shield,
Okay.
and not take damage this turn.
Billy is going to use his reaction to cast Father's favorite, Silvery Barbs. So
Nice.
the mimic has to re-roll the d20, and Yorick has advantage on the next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw within the next. So you know, plenty of time.
So re-roll. I re-rolled at a 20. So it went up.
You have to use the lower roll.
Yep.
16 still.
Boom.
Yep. So I still will use electric barrier and not get hit.
That's
And
fine.
you still have advantage.
That is Billy's turn.
Oh, Billy.
Billy is going to. Yes, I gotta make sure I have enough. Oh yeah, I do. Billy is going to. He's pulled on a pair of like thick leather gloves that are just scorched on the bottom. He's gonna reach into like a sack, and it looks like he just grabs a handful of sand. He compresses it for a second, and it turns into a glowing molten ball. And he is going to chuck it like a tennis ball at the mimic.
Okay.
Going to be a. Oh, damn. 10 to hit.
10 is gonna miss, unfortunately.
That's the end of my
That
turn.
is brings us to the top of the round. Let us take a, let's say, 15-minute break. Maybe not even that. 10-minute break.
Hmm?
Oh, you didn't.
Oh, from the break.
Yeah.
That stings.
Oh well.
I was like, when did we stop? Okay. But
My
yes,
death blow.
cat.
But yeah, so yeah, Archie will do the Willy Wonka.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a light shines down, confetti falls, and a little horn fanfare blaze. Quintilius has yet another tear in his eye, and there is a hooded lantern with full of oil for you to take with a bow on top.
Thanks.
Archie's going to be one of those characters that are really hard to read.
Dill's gonna look at Billy and be like, "Do you have any idea?
I mean, I know what I'm gonna perform. I guess.
You know?
Need time? I'll go.
No,
You got something? Go.
I think I know.
You got
I
this.
think
Go,
so.
man.
I just
No,
okay,
not
I'll just do it. He's gonna walk up there. Just kind of like awkwardly like stand in the center. Like, can someone give me a beat?
I'm going to pull out some drums.
Of course you have them.
I just have the proficiency, so I'll just lay out some books and
Just
give you a nice rhythm.
yeah.
I'm totally gonna try to like I picked up wrong and trying to give you like a beatbox beat without like not even paying attention. He's setting up a drum set.
He's like, with expectations to grow and nurture, but the desire to learn of the force of nature, the reasons behind the universe itself. I wish for more. Look to the stars, the greater. He bows.
He gives yeah, exactly. Applause.
Billy definitely
Quintilius is-
clapped.
Tears down his eyes, run us up on stage, and hands you the clipboard. Please, you must.
Okay. He signs his name.
And your hooded lantern is there waiting for you.
Yes. Hooded lantern. Check.
Like Billy is going to walk past Dell, like as Dell is dismounting, and be like, "Well, dang, son, I don't want to follow that. Shoot, that was beautiful." I was just like cheering, like, yeah. And like Billy will stand and be like, "This is not my strong suit, y'all. So just." I am the very model of a modern major general of information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England and quotes by historical, from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. I'm very well acquainted too with matters mathematical. I understand equations built to simple and quadratical. About binomial theorems, I'm teeming with a lot of news. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse.
Woo! Mr. Sumner!
Just like bows. And like takes a half step away from like he's almost gonna forget his hood and lantern. Remember, be like, oh, shit, that was outside his comfort zone.
Very
that was
nice.
an incredible improvisation.
Also, what's England?
What's a hypotenuse?
I don't know.
You
They are
watch-
words that I memorized.
It must be some kind of special creature. Hypotenuse. We'll learn about it in class.
You guys watch this
Beware
book
the
double up, and you guys still chose to go one at a time.
I'm
Hey,
a lone
everybody
wolf.
needs a moment every once in a while.
All right. You have officially finished your scavenger hunts. You got all your little gifts along the way. You spend a little bit of your time kind of just meandering around the Biblioplex before you finally decide to go on to your dorms. That is where we're going to end our session for tonight. Your homework.
Billy definitely would have gone up to Yorick and Jera.
Kara.
You
And
didn't put it
been,
in Zoom, so we know.
Here, I'll put it in.
and definitely would have been like, okay, so I didn't have mine with me, but I play a mean dulcimer, and I think we could do like a jam session or something. I think that'd be a lot of fun, yo.
Yeah, let's give up on this
I-
whole this whole college thing. Just go to
I also, this might come up later. I can play the harp too if we want to mix it up. So
Oh, you can do the harp. Wow, I got the dulcimer.
we're such a talented group.
We should start a band. That's what you do in college, right?
Seems like we already have.
I'm just,
One of
hey, if it has strings, I got you.
Okay.
Guitar
dulcimer too?
strings, G strings, harp strings, any of them.
The heartstrings.
No, but I'm sure I could pick it up
Oh,
because you can use a
super
lot of
easy.
knowledges with the other string. The exception, the piano is a little different because percussion, stringed, whatever you want to call it.
Well, there is. I mean, so there's two kinds of dulcimer. You've got the mountain dulcimer, and then you got the drum dulcimer. So that's kind of like a piano, except you've got the sticks, and you're kind of. And I do mountain dulcimer, but I can do the hammer dulcimer. I didn't bring that one with me because I really didn't expect there
The
to be.
sticks are usually referred to as mallets, but I get the picture.
Oh, so you know? Okay, cool. I not like trained. I knew a guy way back when. He's dead now. What was his name? Oh shoot. Uh, he was married to Yolene. This was back probably about 20. I mean, you weren't even a thought in your father's eye. Oh well. Anyway, he taught me, not formally, but he showed me the strings, showed me the reps.
What should I roll to see if I paid attention for that full story?
Intelligence.
Oh, damn it! Sorry, man. Let's
I legitimately
do.
work with older people on a pretty regular basis. And that is always how they tell the story. And it's like, I don't care what the fucking name is. Just get to the point.
Just tell the story.
I guess it didn't roll. Try again.
And like they'll be like, oh yeah, it was so and so and such and
Bro,
such.
I
and it is
listened to
so-and-so." I'm like,
0 words. I didn't listen a word that came out. No words existed that came out of your mouth.
like all 39, 40-year-olds, Billy did not notice your inattention. He just kept right on trucking.
Mhm.
But I pretended very well that I listened to every single word you said. That is twice I went from a nat 1 to a nat 20.
You're just running.
And the nat 20
clock
was on
these.
BS.
All right. We're going to end our session.